of these seeds that are even given to the farmer, although African farmer says he hasn't been, opportunity to get some of those seeds, it's been on for a while. Like you actually mentioned that we've had genetically modified seeds to ensure that, to fight
all these,
pests and ensure that you get the best of the crop that you're trying to bring out. And so at the moment, you're also saying that Nigerian farmers are not ready for this kind of technology.
Yeah, because the Nigerian farmer has to be galvanized to appreciate the need for it. And the environment under which you operate, I mean, very simple. If you bring in what you had with this cloning, if you have cloning on animals, and they tell you that this animal has been cloned, the first reaction from Nigeria is that, is this thing palatable? What is happening to all of us? If I bring you chicken that is only 5 weeks old and you say it's ready for the table, your first reaction is that this is not, it won't taste as much. There's still skepticism about it. But I tell you one thing that is happening. In the discussion of the minister's view, it is better we get ready. There are some parts of the country that have challenges, like the irrigation process. It is okay to say we have water everywhere. It's not everywhere. It has been proven that you need high level of irrigation in so many parts of the country. So if you have crops that can survive challenges of irrigation, that can survive on minimal water, then it's a good thing. But you've got to know it. And those farmers can be galvanized when it is commercial agric. If you do commercial agric, you can harness so much hectares of land and you can see the impact. The farmer who produce in small units in small places cannot directly see that impact. Again, there will be environmental challenges because it has been proven that there will be cross mutations. And when you begin to say you introduce, they become resistant to herbicide. What happens to those herbicides? You have weeds. The weeds will become very soon become resistant as well. Because the weeds, you've been trying to avoid, you are trying to throw the weeds away. But the same weeds will always exist. So new crops of weeds will follow when you have a new modus of seeds that are coming into the environment. So it's like you are disturbing the ecosystem. I think for us, it is better we take it and look at it and introduce in areas where there are serious challenges.
But of course, sorry to cut you here, that we have research agencies in Nigeria that have been looked, Thero, IITA, and the rest of it, who have looked into the fact that we are ready for that next step. Researches have been going on. So the next step is the trials, to take from the laboratory and come out into the field and see how best they will thrive in an environment outside of the laboratory. So are we saying that we're not ready for those researches to come out and be tried in an open environment?
You know, it's interesting to hear such topic. The research institutes exist for the purpose that they are doing. There are so many things they do. If you call Thero has got so many products on their desk. The biggest challenge they have is application. Now, when you introduce a crop into an environment and it's only done on a miniature trial, it doesn't reflect your real commercial instincts when you go into a big environment.
But then people are afraid to even let it be tried on a larger scale.
The fear is not afraid. People are just skeptical whether it will be beneficial. It is for us to be able to go into the details and really find out what is it that these seeds represent. So fear is a natural thing. If it changes, it's always a thing the whole world resists. People don't want changes. But I tell you what is interesting to us. What he mentioned, which is interesting, is post-harvest. Do we really have challenges of food? What we have problem in this country is logistics. You find that crops are available in some areas. To move the crops to a point of use or consumption is a major cost of our business. So these are the things that are making the farmer feel, what is the motivation? They need to know that motivation. Good yield and all that. And then you find out the seeds are going to be expensive. Because the seeds are special seeds you have to introduce. And it's not a thing that you replicate yourself.
It has to be done by the government.
You have to bring the seeds in. You have to buy it. Unlike the farmer generating his own seeds, the man who is doing yam is doing his own seeds. So you are not going to ask him to add the cost. These are things the farmers will first of all look at. You have to pay money for this. So you must begin to equate both sides. It is good you know it. Because even abroad now, the discussion is on. There are big farmers abroad that begin to say that it's an expensive venture.
But then some of those big farmers are also saying that it's also a health risk factor as well.
It's a healthy, but for them as a business, and because seeds are patented, these seeds are patented. You cannot just walk in and pick the seeds. So these are issues that are coming to the fore. Our research institute may be doing research, but the economics of the operation is what we're discussing now. It's not that it's not there. It's there. You can buy the seeds and introduce. So at the moment, it's something that is ongoing, and whatever the minister has done is to spring us to start thinking. The Research Institute have done a lot of work. Have we really bring it back to the commercial instincts? Until it gets to the commercial level, for some of us who are in this business, it's like you have it there, but you can't touch it yet.
Mr. Mogaji, you wanted to say something?
Yes. One of the things I would like to point out with, I don't have a challenge with the genetically modified seeds.
Or crops.
Okay, but my challenge is, because we are practicing, with the farmers and co., if it's brought into the country, who monitors? Who does evaluation? We don't have a functional extension system. And I am always big on monitoring and evaluation. So in a bid to get the results, if we import the seeds, we give to the farmers, and we don't have existing, we don't have functional extension services that are supposed to gather data, so that in case there's a mutation, in case there's a challenge, we'll be able to nip it at the bud.
But I think that's what the Biosafety Office of the Federal Ministry of Environment will do. One of the things.
That's an office. Now, if you go to a farmer in Shepeteri, in Fiditi, in Shaki, those people are not close to these people at all. We don't. Ideally, we are supposed to have extension agents functioning. So governments initially still needs to employ more people who will step into the gap as extension agents, such that information can get from the farmer to the research, and the research to the farmer. All this is still on paper. But when these seeds are brought into the country, don't forget Nigeria is peculiar. Now, there are cartels. Mile 12, there's a cartel in Mile 12. There's a rice cartel. Now, if these seeds are brought in, understand that it's money, economics driven. Now, the people who can do it are the money bags, so to speak. So, what will they do? They will take the market and dictate. And don't forget, we're not used to best practice. So it means that once the door is opened, the customs is still allowing rice to come into the country, despite the effort of the minister and the investments. So custom issues will be there. Anybody can bring anything in, and the ministry cannot control that. We've not been able to control stoppage of rice illegally. So how are we sure that we will not bring seeds that have not been certified? I spoke here about the popcorn, the corn that we bought the seeds, it did well, but it was just research seeds, uncertified seeds. So we are not ready for it. However, we need to begin to work on it. But to import it now, I'm not sure we're ready for that.
Okay, so let's take a quick break, catch our breath, and come back. So if to import those seeds at this time, we're not ready for it, can we do it domestically? So let's hold on to that thought and come back and continue this conversation. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and we're coming to you live from our studio here in Lagos, Nigeria. On the program today, our focus is on agriculture. We're looking at agricultural transformation agenda, or some aspects of it, including the fact that there's this story and this debate and argument around genetically modified seeds and crops, which of course leads to genetically modified food. And I've been having this conversation with two gentlemen, both of them experts in the field, a farmer and a consultant. We'll be right back, and both gentlemen will still be here with me.